Yeah, let's get right into this. What up, people, man? Welcome to Last Call Reacts. Got a topic this week. I know it's a little bit late, but I'm dropping it anyway. Glad you're here, tuned in. Like, share, subscribe, depending on how you feel at the end of the video. But anyway, let's get into it. So, a lot going on in the news, and I'm just going to start sharing the screen because I got to play a little bit of video with you. If I do this properly. All right. Yes, this is about the so-called Cinnabon girl, lady, inhumane individual, whatever you want to call her. All right. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of this. It's better explained in the video, so I'll be able to give you some commentary with that as well. So here we go.
You ruined your life, by the way.
Oh, you're talking about respect? You're talking about respect? You are fired from this place. You're not gonna be working here. Suck what? Look how you talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You're the ugliest person I ever seen in my life.
Good.
Now we're hearing some back
I
and
am
forth
racist.
over here, right?
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are an
Idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say
Again, we got a video that started in some place, right? But definitely somewhat, or the beginning arc of a argument, obviously between a Cinnabon worker over there, the lady, and the people behind the camera, a Somali couple, we believe. Now we hear this exchange of slurs and insults, slurs from her part, insults that seem to be going back and forth. Nobody really knows what preceded this as well. But one of the things I see, you know, when you got a uniform on, even if it's Cinnabon, whatever it is, you are working on the behalf of a larger entity, right? She seems to not take that into consideration at all while berating this couple. And again, you know, I'm not always with a poor person trying to pour out compassion because the video might show one thing. Obviously something came, but we could tell in the demeanor, at least, who might be the aggressor in this, depending on what came. We all did customer service jobs, but we never felt necessary to go above and beyond here. Now, before I continue with this, I want to remind people, this is what made this a little bit more pronounced for me. Is this guy? Anybody hear this?
I think open borders are great. You know, where prisons are emptied into our country, right? Where we have people from all over the world being dumped into our country. The people that aren't wanted in their countries, by the way. I think that's a great, like Somalia. Welcome. Do we have any
Now, I'm going to play a little bit more. It's only a couple-minute video. But as the leader of the free nation here, how irresponsible, if not dangerous and divisive, are these statements? You can't do it. Why is everywhere a hellhole or a shithole that only has brown and black people? You don't hear him call any other European nations like this as well. Look at even in the background. People are loving this because it emboldens that type of behavior that the lady is showing, the Cinnabon person.
individuals from Somalia in the group? Please raise your hand.
And then they raise their hand, and then what? They raise their hand. Now they have a target on their back. Now they're set for ridicule, or worse, even violence. This is completely irresponsible and not good leadership. And what ties in this? Look at in the background. You see Make America Great Again hats. That's why when people wear this stuff and try to provoke a situation, go to restaurants, wear the hat like a brand name, it stands out. You're making a statement like you're draped in the Confederate flag or something.
Minnesota, you know, that's called the Great Big Minnesota Scam with one of the dumbest governors ever in history.
Wow.
I love this Elon Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban.
This is, this is a president speaking like this against the whole garb, putting down the religion, the nation, the people. and people cheering without actually realizing what they're cheering for. This is depraved. This is the undesirable.
I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining.
Look at the guy in the back.
She
This
comes
guy's
from a
loving it.
country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military. They have no nothing. They have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our
That's enough of that. Give us the weak, the huddle, masses, the same thing all the other immigrants came over here for. So on the back of that, you have somebody like this expressing that current of hate.
Say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talk about respect. You talking about respect. You are fired from this place, man.
Now, the whole thing, you can find the whole thing. I don't necessarily need to play that for you. There's a whole rabbit hole that you could go ahead and jump down with that as well. But I want to point out a couple of things. All right. Let me just fly back to maybe about 3-4 weeks ago.
He doesn't behave in a neurotypical way.
So that gives you the right to call a child 5-year-old and the N-word.
Remember this lady? Yeah. 2 kids playing in the playground. Apparently, kid could be a black kid, Somali, I'm not sure. But enough for the woman to call him the N-word because of the way that he was playing, a 5-year-old. Now, I'm going to tie something up real quick, something that you should be disgusted with. Now, this is the lady, the playground, whatever they're calling her. There's the Cinnabon lady. Remember Carmelo Anthony, the gentleman from the track meet who was targeted? Right? The gentleman from war. And people wanted to help with his defense, but because they evaluated a little bit of the situation and decided that it wouldn't be fair for this person to take on, especially if there's a stand your ground or something like that, that this student's life is ruined, especially after he's been attacked and it was scrutinized. These people, the playground lady, the Cinnabon lady, are now getting donations, or they've been getting donations, I should say. Not only have they been getting donations, they've been getting plenty of donations, as one you could see here. Let me see if this one backs out a little bit. So I'm not going to go through all of it because I do want to eventually head to something. But here's something that you could look at. Let me just make sure that you guys can actually see that. Look at this. Works at Cinnabon. Goes racist. Raises, or they want to raise, $271,000. Raised so far $135,121. This is a person working at Cinnabon. Now, I'll just let you know without going through the whole thing that this woman has priors. She has what many might say a very checkered past. Battery, driving under the influence, I believe something with her child as well. Let me see if it gets into something here.
Continue to rise. As of this taping, she has raised $135,121. The bio of this post reads, and this is not a joke, meet Crystal, hardworking white mom doing her job at Cinnabon. 2 Somali customers decide to make her shift hell with intimidation. Instead of banning the offenders and backing their employee, Cinnabon fires Crystal to keep the, I don't even know what that word is, happy. We're not letting this slide. Funds go to making sure Crystal lands on her feet after this betrayal. No white person with a capital W should lose their job for refusing to be harassed by Somalians. Insane. The Hindustan Times printed of her history. It has been revealed that she has been booked at least 2 times on charges related to domestic abuse, endangering children, and drug possession.
All right, like I said, if there's more, you could go and look up more over here. But still, on the backs of that, we get this mass deportation. Somewhere in the number about 90,000 Somali immigrants paraded off in a very deliberate targeting of these people. This is weird. This is very weird dictatorship behavior. And you should be worried about this, because if it's one group today, even though it just seems to be black and brown groups, what's stopping it in the future to have another group targeted as well? Now, I want to show you something that's not exactly a great comparison or parallel, but at least something that we should consider with this money being passed around. Somebody could be so disgusting, so vile to children, to people on the other. Not that you should take shit in any of these jobs that you do, because any job that you do, you get paid for, you do it well. That is a job that you should be proud of. Nobody should be able to come into your job and berate you. But something tells me in that situation, a lot of the attitude came from that side of the counter, which is her side. Now check this out.
A video that's gone viral showing a Detroit man walking a 6-year-old girl 10 blocks to school after finding her walking by herself.
I just checked in, and in less than 24 hours, this video has been shared more than 33,000 times. In the video, Joshua Threat tears up, saying he found the child walking in the cold without a hat or without gloves.
But what's the story behind that video?
We sent 7 News Detroit reporter Peter Maxwell out to talk to Threat and get some answers from Detroit police and the school district.
He wasn't expecting to go viral, but Joshua Threat's Facebook Live video touched tens of thousands of viewers, and he says he would do it again for any child walking alone in the cold.
You're out here walking by herself. How old is you? 6? Man.
That's 36-year-old Detroit resident Joshua Threat on Facebook Live Monday morning when he noticed a little girl with no hat, no gloves, walking alone in the cold.
She was walking up 14th. She was walking up 14, going to school down there. About 10 blocks, almost 10 blocks away. If I was cold, I definitely know she was cold. She had to be freezing, no doubt.
Joshua, a father himself, says he would do whatever he needed to do to make sure the 6-year-old got to her school. She told him it was Thurkel Elementary.
I actually thought about my youngest, because my youngest is the same age. So it was like, this shouldn't be like somebody need to be with her, to escort her.
When Joshua and the little girl arrived at the school, he said he made sure to tell staff at the front door exactly what happened, and that's when he broke down into tears.
She probably scared because she been walking for about 10 blocks.
Where's your sister?
She probably scared. So many people just pulled up on that little girl. I'm so happy I see her.
Thank you, baby.
Very, especially if you're a father, you have children like this. I'm so glad that there's people like this out of the way. But you know what? I want to point out a little bit of a contrast here. We see this gentleman doing this. I don't think he asked for it. He definitely actually didn't from the news that I got. But people decided to make a GoFundMe or crowdfunding for this gentleman. You know how much money he raised? Barely $3,000. I believe maybe the goal was about 3,000, something to help him out a little bit, not to make him rich. But what does that tell us about the priorities in this nation and what type of people get rewarded with what type of behavior? I think that's something very serious to think about. I think that's something very serious to consider when we see frothing at the mouth racists that don't stop and very cowardly. If you're going to target kids, people that aren't going to fight back, they always seem to do it in these spaces. Nobody's running up to me saying that shit, but I know it happens. I know it might happen to people that look like they can't take care of themselves, younger, maybe women, the people that should be protected in our community. And here we have a person trying to stay under the radar, but just doing the right thing. And go with your instinct, people. Go with your gut. Something doesn't look right for you. He had a car. All right. If you go and look that up, he was in a vehicle, but he didn't want the perception to look a certain way of this man putting the girl, being self-aware, having the duality, if you will, like a lot of us have to have. So we decided to put the truck aside and escort on foot this girl to her school and get the information down. And we believe since then the parents have been arrested and the little girl may be rehomed. But she was sent outside, I believe, no shoes, barely a jacket, anything like that. So you could just imagine she's just doing what she should be doing mechanically, knowing that she should go to school. Those parents didn't even care. Other parents send a nice lunch, vegetables, sandwich, thermos, bottled water, everything for their kid to go to school. This one just barely made it just to make it to school. Unbelievable. You know who should get the crowdfunding? That little girl. You want to give her a leg up in society, give it to this girl. She's going to need it. Instead of funding racists, come on now. Got to stop with this coward funding. Just a little food for thought. Let me know what your thought is. This is the last call. Thanks for checking in. Let me know if you liked it. Give me a comment, like it, share it, subscribe it. Check me out on my live Friday night at 9 p.m. Chilling with Josephine the Chatavist. And check out the shorts too. Appreciate you guys coming out. Peace, peace, peace.